has been revealed that Nepali agents of a French company are to be given the responsibility of verifying personal details of national identity card. A Home Minister official revealed that the move was made under political influence. The move has drawn criticisms from all quarters, with officials at the Home Ministry itself opining that it could be a threat to national security. Good evening, I'm Sarah Chitrakar, and these are the headlines of the hour. Prime Minister Pushpa Kamal Dahal gears up to appoint the Minister for Foreign Affairs as he makes preparations for the upcoming India visit. Preparations being made to hand responsibility of verifying personal details of citizens in the national identity card being handed over to a private company. The US airman Jack Teixeira, accused of leaking confidential intelligence and defense documents, officially charged in a court appearance in Boston. And Chelsea up against Brighton in the English Premier League tonight. Match to kick off at 7:45 p.m. Nepal time. Coach Lampard faces challenge to bring Chelsea back to winning ways. Prime Minister Pushpa Kamal Dahal, who has been making preparations for his upcoming India visit, has geared up to appoint the Minister for Foreign Affairs. Premier Dahal's political advisor Haribol Gajuril said that the Premier is gearing up to fill the vacant post, which is in the share of Nepali Congress. According to Gajuril, the Foreign Minister will be appointed tomorrow. The Foreign Ministry is in the share of Nepali Congress. Nepali Congress has yet to get 5 ministries and 1 state minister. Gajuril informed that even though an official date has not been set, the Premier is scheduled to visit India by early May next month. Former President Bidya Devi Bhandari had appointed Dahal as the Prime Minister on 25th of December with the backing of CPN-UML among other parties. The Premier has been keeping the Ministry of Health, Law, Forest, Sports and Drinking Water with himself. Prior to this, Premier Dahal had appointed 4 ministers from Congress and 1 each from Janata Samajwadi Party, Loktantrik Samajwadi Party, Nagarik Unmukti Party and Nepal Samajwadi Party on 31st of March. Dahal is making preparations to expand the cabinet for the 8th time after he appoints the Minister for Foreign Affairs. It has been revealed that the responsibility of verifying personal details of citizens in the national identity card is being handed over to a private company. Nepali agents of a French company are to be given the responsibility of verifying the personal details of national identity card. The move has drawn criticisms from all quarters. An officer at the Ministry of Home Affairs says the decision to give the responsibility to a foreign agent has been made under political influence. The responsibility of verifying personal details of the national identity card, which will be essential for banking as well as other private institutions, is said to be handed to a private company. Officials of the Ministry of Home Affairs themselves opine that the move is a threat to security. According to sources, only 2 rooms at the Ministry of Home Affairs are sufficient to do the work, while only 5 officers are required. However, the government is gearing up to assign the work to a private company. The private company's own technology and employees will be used to complete the task. As per the provision, the concerned entity will charge fee for the verification of personal details, which will be received by the contract company. Former Home Minister Ravi Lamichhane had prepared a policy enabling only the Nepali agents of the French company that has been handed the responsibility to do the work. Sources say that the agents of the company are business persons of CPN-UML. Home Minister Narayan Kaji Shrestha has further inquired the reason behind the hastiness to hand such a sensitive responsibility to business persons of CPN-UML. According to sources, Home Minister Shrestha has been planning to terminate the contract. The past decade has seen the nation make great strides in national politics and the socio-economic front. The country promulgated its constitution and transitioned into federalism. Notable achievements were made in the economic and sports sector. However, stability in national politics has still been a far cry.
At the start of the decade, the then government, led by Chief Justice, held the second election for the Constituent Assembly in a bid to rectify the country's political track that was deemed wayward at the time. Despite the failure of the first Constituent Assembly, the second Constituent Assembly promulgated the Constitution, paving the way for federalism. This was followed by elections in all three tiers in 2074 and in 2079, an effort to strengthen the public access to the administration as provincial and local level governments took shape. However, confusions regarding the jurisdiction of the three levels of the governments have lingered due to the lack of laws. Major disputes also emerged between political parties. CPN Maoist Centre unified with CPN UML to form Nepal Communist Party, which almost garnered two-thirds majority at the parliament. However, the unification could not sustain as the Maoist bloc quit the party. CPN UML itself was disintegrated as disgruntled intra-party faction of UML went on to form a different party, while a few influential leaders from Maoist Centre quit their party, and parties centred in Tarai showed similar trend. CPN UML chair KP Sharma Oli, while leading the government, attempted to dissolve the parliament on two occasions. Towards the end of the decade, new political forces emerged in the national politics. Laws related to transitional justice have remained stranded, with more disputes emerging, while works related to citizenship bill are also pending. The decade also saw a devastating earthquake that claimed the lives of over 8,000 and caused damages to properties worth billions. The country also grappled with several waves of the global COVID pandemic. The head of the judiciary, the Chief Justice, faced an impeachment motion which has yet to conclude, while justices walked out of benches in voice of dissent against the Chief Justice. Law practitioners staged protest for 109 days calling for an end to irregularities in the judiciary. The country's economy was equally dramatic in the past decade. The number of Nepali nationals living for foreign employment and education spiraled up. The impact of Russia-Ukraine war was felt by general households as prices of daily consumables skyrocketed. Meanwhile, the decade saw a few milestone achievements. Load shedding that had crippled the general life for over 3 decades was finally put to rest, while Nepal inaugurated international airports in Pokhara and Vairava. Nepal is also on course to raise electricity imports and raise revenue. The information technology sector also made notable achievements. However, Nepal's relations with India soured as the southern neighbors imposed a border blockade in the wake of the devastating earthquake, further compounding the general life in Nepal. A few years later, however, heads of state of both China and India visited Nepal in an effort to improve ties. In the sporting sector, Nepal received one-day international status for the first time. Nepal also entered into the finals of SAF Football Championship. The country also improved its image in the international platform by successfully hosting the 13th South Asian Games.
The past few days has seen rise in air pollution levels in Kathmandu Valley. Based on the air quality index, pollution has crossed the hazardous level, which experts attribute to inadequate pre-monsoon rains. According to IQ Air, Kathmandu's air quality index has been above 150 IQ for the past 1 week and beyond acceptable levels of 50 set by the World Health Organization. Experts have warned if it does not rain, the pollution level will aggravate. In the meantime, the Department of Hydrology and Meteorology has said the weather will remain gloomy till Monday coming week and slightly improve Tuesday onwards. Meanwhile, there is possibility of rain in parts of Gandaki and Sudur Paschim province today. Likewise, the department has predicted rainfall in several parts in hilly regions of Sudur Paschim and Karnali and a thunderstorm along with rain in few places. The youths of Salyan have begun signing a petition demanding to repair the road sections in Dang, Salyan and Rukum under the Rapti highway. The youths have started collecting signatures for the petition, citing failure to repair the road section despite budget being allocated on several occasions. Coordinator of Samriddha Salyan Nirman Abhiyan Thruba Oli said that the collected signatures will be submitted to the Office of the Prime Minister and Council of Ministers, Ministry for Physical Infrastructure, Ministry for Transport and the Department of Road. According to Oli, the movement has been initiated for immediate reconstruction of the Kapurkot-Chor-Khola road section, which is in a poor condition and has increased the risk of accidents. 4 people have been injured in Rohtah's Dhobinia of Gadhimai Municipality 8 today when gunshots were fired. According to the police, 2 groups fired shots at each other due to land dispute. Time now for our segment, Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion.
Public Pulse.
Here's the question: why have areas of the country been piling up every day? Your options are A, no good governance, B, lack of accountability, and C, poor monitoring. Voting is on. Type any WS, select your option A, B or C and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. Time now for international update. The U.S. airman accused of leaking confidential intelligence and defense documents has been officially charged in a court appearance in Boston. 21-year-old Jack Teixeira wore shackles and a prison uniform as he stood before a federal judge yesterday. Teixeira faces up to 15 years in prison over charges of unauthorized transmission of defense information. He is also charged with the unauthorized removal and retention of classified documents. The airman faces up to 10 years in prison for the first charge and up to 5 years for the second. The dozens of leaked documents had revealed U.S. assessments of the war in Ukraine as well as sensitive secrets about American allies. The leaks embarrassed Washington and raised fresh questions over the security of classified information. Teixeira was arrested by armed FBI agents at his family home in Massachusetts on Thursday. The judge ruled that the suspect qualifies for a public defender, a lawyer employed at public expense in a criminal trial for people who cannot afford legal fees. U.S. President Joe Biden thanked law enforcement in a statement for their rapid action to investigate the source of the leaks. He said he has directed U.S. military and intelligence to secure and limit distribution of any more sensitive information. The European Union is considering to impose an 11th round of sanctions against Russia, which will include measures that counter Moscow's evasion of existing sanctions, said Mairead McGuinness, European Commissioner for Financial Affairs, in an interview with the U.S. media on Thursday. In response, Mikhail Ulyanov, Russia's permanent representative to international organizations in Vienna, said that sanctions against Russia have continued, but their influence is limited. On the contrary, their negative impacts on the EU are far greater than expected and will backfire, added Ulyanov on social media. On the same day, Tamás Menczenza, State Secretary of the Hungarian Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Trade, said that Hungary would not give up importing energy from Russia for other countries' benefits, nor impose sanctions on Russia due to pressure from others. Hungary's Foreign Minister Peter Szijjártó also stressed that providing arms to Ukraine and imposing sanctions on Russia will not lead to peace, but will eventually backfire on the EU and cause more harm. Brazilian President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva has called on all parties to seek a political settlement of the Ukraine crisis through dialogue. In an exclusive interview with China's Central Television in Shanghai on Thursday, Lula said Brazil and China are both countries in favor of peace, and he wants to cooperate with China to put forward a peace proposal for Ukraine crisis, together with other countries that want peace. President Lula said he has not worked out a specific proposal for the Ukraine crisis, and he used to have faith in the European Union, thinking it would help to solve the conflict peacefully, but EU's behaviors disappointed him. That's all for the moment. Our next English bulletin will be at 10:30 tonight. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.